Have you ever looked long and hard at the streets of Mumbai? There are children living here, more than 100,000. Children vulnerable to abuse and exploitation.
We live just anywhere, under bridges, on pavements, in marketplaces, just anywhere. Finding food is not very difficult. We can beg, earn, or even steal. But anybody can scream at us, beat us up, and sometimes even do dirty things to us. We are scared of being with people, scared of being alone. But then there are the drugs that make us forget everything. Whether we live or die, nobody cares.
But students of social work of Nirmala Niketan cared, and the Vatsalya Foundation came into being in 1982 with a desire to bring hope into the lives of the homeless street children. By 1994, Vatsalya grew to become a full-fledged registered organization based on the principles of compassion, commitment, and creativity.
We believe that children are our partners and we are working with them and not for them. Our strategies when we are on the streets have been evolved when a relationship is built with them, a trust is built with them, because they have been hurt over and over again by adults. So it's not so easy for them to trust another adult.
Winning trust is the job of the outreach program. The trained social workers reach out to the kids on the streets. They talk to them and listen, address their problems and try to resolve them. Impromptu activities help strike a bond. The children soon start visiting the daycare centers of Vatsalya. These daycare centers are run in collaboration with educational and welfare organizations. The children acquire skills here and, more importantly, become emotionally stable. They are motivated to study. Vatsalya helps them get admissions. Five-year-old Mani used to roam the streets while his mother worked to feed him. Mani likes to come here and play. Vatsalya has recently admitted him to a school. Like Mani, each of these smiling faces hides a grim reality. The time these children spend here would otherwise have been spent on the street. The street where the brutal law of the jungle prevails. The daycare center at Mahim is different from the one at Sindhi Gully in South Mumbai. under the trees by the seaside. Krishna grew up on the streets of Mumbai. Vatsalya helped him carve a new life. He studied and trained in social work. Krishna works with Vatsalya, a beacon of hope for these children, that they too can have a future. Krishna is now married to Pushpa, who like him grew up as a street child and now works for Vatsalya. Krishna and Pushpa are not the only role models for the children. Arifa, who studied with the help of the outreach center, is now a nurse. These success stories reaffirm the belief of Vatsalya that every child has an inherent capacity to grow and develop as a responsible individual in mainstream society. Members of the Vatsalya family realized that to further their work meaningfully, they needed to offer security away from the street. The residential home at Mahalakshmi came into being in 1991, a full-fledged home for 60 children.
Meet Ginny and Rock, two very important and loved members of our family.
Experts at Vatsalya know that the children gain self-esteem and confidence by taking care of others, be it the dogs or the garden. Both satisfy their yearning to belong, to love, and to be loved unconditionally. Learning skills to become self-reliant is an important part of life at Vatsalya. Beadwork, bookmaking, gardening, candle making, carpentry, and block printing are some of the skills these children acquire. And with this expertise comes confidence and hope.
मैं यहाँ पे ड्राइंग सीखा, ब्लॉक पेंटिंग सीखा, डांस सीखा, नाटक सीखा, दूसरों से बड़ों से कैसे बात करने का, छोटों से कैसे बात करने का, वो सब सीखा.
This security and knowledge gives a new birth to these children. By the time they are adults, they are able to move out and settle down with jobs and families. Vatsalya helps them find group homes, refers them to vocational institutes, and even helps them find employment. But the vocational training at Vatsalya is not at the cost of a formal education. Their routine is the same as that of any child their age. School and homework, studies and examinations, and of course, play.
At the Vatsalya Foundation, we do create an environment of a family environment where they are getting love, security, affection. But we don't forget that somewhere or the other they have left their homes, and Vatsalya Foundation objective is definitely to reunite the child back to his family.
प्रिय मित्र आलम, आपको हमारी ओर से सलाम और माँ बाबूजी तथा दादी की ओर से आशीर्वाद.
This letter is from Rajesh, one of the several children motivated to return home after several years on the streets of Mumbai. Letters like these encourage other children to think of returning. But the work of Vatsalya is not confined to individual cases. There has been a concerted effort at the macro level. Networking and collaboration for the rights of the street child. The foundation is a pioneer in the non-institutional approach of rehabilitation.
It was remarkable to see the amount of care taken by the Vatsalya Foundation and good training given to them, to the street children, making them into good citizens into the productive areas, and so that they could stand on their own legs and be on their own. I wish there were more organizations like the Vatsalya Foundation, because there is such a vast scope of work in cities like Mumbai, where a large number of school children are pouring in the city every day and not finding anywhere to go, no one to take care of them, often getting into the areas of crime, and they're getting almost lost to the society.
It began in a very participatory, using the participatory approach very consciously, taking children as partners in their own empowerment. And today I'm happy to say that Vatsalya has gone full circle to prove that children have in fact become empowered, taking their place rightfully in the mainstream of society.
But no long-term change is possible without the involvement of the masses.
लौटा दे हर बच्चे को उसका बचपन, लौटा दे हर बच्चे का उसका बचपन, लौटा दे हर बच्चे को उसका बचपन, लौटा दे हर बच्चे को उसका बचपन.
Street plays, rallies and networking have helped the Vatsalya Foundation meet its objectives, to understand and analyze the needs of street children, to liaise with government agencies and mobilize community resources, to reunite children with their families wherever possible, to advocate for child-friendly changes in the juvenile justice system. Vatsalya has come a long way. It is one of the collaborative organizations of Childline, established in the year 1996, a unique telephone helpline for street children. Vatsalya is also on the executive body of CCVC, the Coordination Committee for Vulnerable Children, an umbrella for 45 organizations working with underprivileged children. The Vatsalya Foundation has many friends, some in the corporate sector, others in the government, and many professionals and individuals.
Nowadays there are many institutions, but according to me, this is the first institution I have seen that is a good cause they are taken up. And in view of that, I fought with my committee of King George V Memorial to allot the place at free of cost to the Vatsalya group. And today you must have seen in the King George V Memorial that Vatsalya children are very, very happy.
I think it was the interaction with the children which gave me a window to look at myself and probably the world in a different way than I was looking at till the time that I was associated with Vatsalya. I would consider this as one of the turning points in my early career.
I have been associated with Vatsalya for the past 1.5 years, and it has been a very fruitful association. I wish them all the best in their endeavor to ensure a better future for the street kids of Mumbai.
Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityor ma amrutam gamaya om shanti shanti shanti.
We at Vatsalya know that there are many challenges ahead of us. We have many dreams, but these dreams can be realized only if you join hands with us on this journey into the future. Help us give a new birth to the children condemned by society.